Hey guys, this is Donna Jones for Spotlight TV, here with Lisa Nicole Cloud from Married to Medicine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So I want to first start out by asking you, there are people that settle and then there are people that don't. What makes you not settle?
My mantra is live your dreams, and I feel like we were all put here to just live fully, live prosperous, not live in fear. And so because that's kind of who I am innately, I just don't settle. I dream the impossible dreams. Even when people think that that she'll never be able to do that. I mean, the clothing line, I didn't go to school for design, but I am a businesswoman and I understand marketing and running businesses, and the clothing line is doing very wonderfully. So I just believe in not living in fear, going for everything that your heart desires, and realizing that failing is a part of succeeding.
Absolutely. And going into season 4 of Married to Medicine, there's a lot that's been put out there about your life. Does it get hard? Does it get harder as you go?
It is getting harder as I go. I think that my first season, they just kind of let me be. I got to be the clothing designer. I got to, talk a little bit about my direct sales business, be the mom. But season 2 and season 3, I've been the target. Yeah. Now, if everything had been like season 1, I would have been like, oh, I love reality TV. But once you become the target and the target is on your back, it gets a little more difficult because it's very emotional. You live through it 3 times. You live through it when you're filming, you live through it when you view it, and then you live through it at the reunion. And you see with me a lot of really raw emotions because they constantly attack my family.
Yeah. So the reality of reality TV is that you open your life up to the world and everything is edited and put together for drama. Do you have a say in what they show and what they don't?
At the beginning of the season, the producers sit down with us and they ask us what's going on in our lives, and based on what we have going on, they construct the TV show. I don't have a say in the drama, that's for sure, because if I had a say in the drama, I would be like,
a whole lot different.
Please, I'm out, I'm not coming to that event. But the drama is real. The drama, unfortunately, the drama is what gets the ratings. If we were all sitting around singing Kumbaya, nobody would be watching. But the fact that it's always turning up and there's that drama, people are sitting eating their popcorn,
looking at your life.
Like, are you kidding me? Are these women really like that? And some of them really are.
So being a mom, an entrepreneur, a brand builder, a businesswoman, do you ever stop and just pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I'm doing a good job?
I do. I am doing it more now. I mean, for the first, 10 years of my career, I was grinding. And then you look up and you realize the years are gone and time is not something you can get back. And so it was about 4 years ago that I realized I need to stop and smell the roses. Yeah. I need to enjoy life. I need to dance. I need to spend quality time with my husband and my children. And I need to create memories. So I would say for the last 5 years, that's been a very, very important goal of mine.
On the list of things that you need to be successful, what's your top 2?
You have to believe, you can't quit. It doesn't matter how hard it gets. It doesn't matter how dark of a storm you're in. Quitting is not an option if you want to be successful. Because, like I said before, failing is part of succeeding. And every failure, there's a lesson that you're supposed to learn to go to that next season in your life. So I don't quit.
Wow.
And I am very careful the words I speak. I believe my words have a lot of power. And if I say I can do it, I can. And if I doubt and say I can't do it, then I'm also right. So I always, affirm the things that I want in my life, and I speak life into myself and into other people.
Does success mean that you have it all figured out?
No, indeed. Are you kidding me? Success is doing what you want to do, when you want to do
Right.
it, because you want to do it,
Yeah.
and with who you want to do it.
Okay.
That's success. But figuring it all out, that's kind of like part of the journey. You know, success is, I really believe success is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a constant experience of learning, of failing, of reigniting the passion. I mean, it's a constant process.
What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? I am most proud, the thing that has given me the greatest fulfillment out of everything I've ever done is being a mom.
Oh, I love that.
I love being a mother. And this season, you really get a glimpse at the desire to want to have a baby, you know?
Yeah.
I really, really, really want a baby.
Wow. Do you think it's just that kind of itch, like you miss that child rearing, you miss that, or is it just kind of, you just want to kind of have that experience over again? Because it's definitely, you have a lot on your plate.
I do. It's not an itch. What it is a realization that I'm not getting any younger.
Right.
And I've always wanted to have 3-4 children.
Okay.
And then I looked up and I was like, whoa, the years are gone. My babies are not babies anymore. And if I don't make this a priority in my life, then life is going to pass me by and I'm not going to be able to have the large family that I want. And so I think that it's crazy that these women want to say that I'm too old, because we know women have babies
A
into
lot
their
later
40s.
in life. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
Janet Jackson is 50 having twins,
Yep.
you know, and I can call out so many other people in Hollywood. So I think that's crazy. I think it's crazy that Toya tried to say, well, you have a nanny. Okay. And, I mean, my nanny doesn't raise my children. She helps and assists. And I think everybody should be willing to receive help. If you're trying to do it all yourself, mommies, you're setting yourself up for failure.
It is hard. You know, like you said, building a brand, being an entrepreneur, being a mom. There's nothing wrong with having someone there to help you in the process.
Some people call it a family member. Some people call it daycare. I just have someone that lives in and travels with me so that my kids can experience all of the things that I'm experiencing. So this was like what I least expected from the ladies, for them to be coming at me so hard about the desire to have a baby. But hey, if I had to live my life by what they thought, I'd be in big trouble.
So what do we expect coming up this season?
Well, you're going to see that once again, I'm the target, right? They always come for the top. There's a big X on my back. You will also see that alliances have changed. So people who were close at one point are no longer close, and people who were not friendly with one another have come together. So that'll be interesting. You're going to see a lot of very personal backstories on many of the ladies. You know, Simone, while we were filming, her dad went missing. And you're going to see what happens in that journey. You're going to see that Jackie is trying to work out some things in her marriage. So there's a lot of really personal things that you don't really get to see on reality TV that happen this season. And then, of course, you're going to see the drama unfold with the ladies and the friendship and how we navigate that friendship. And, you know, you'll get to see another one of my businesses, which is a new conference called Teach Me to Grow With You.
Oh, wow. Tell us about that.
Teach Me to Grow With You is similar to the WIN conference. With WIN, which is the Women's Empowerment Network, we help women grow personally, professionally, financially, and spiritually.
Wow.
Teach Me to Grow With You is a relationship conference, because what I realize is those very things that I help women get their breakthroughs in, those are the very things that cause marriages to break down. Break down because of finances, break down because people aren't personally developing at the same pace, break down because of spirituality, break down professionally because you're two ships passing in the night. So I host this conference and I bring in experts from around the country to really help couples develop strategies to navigate those challenges and storms in relationships, because marriage is hard. And anybody that thinks that it's a fairy tale and that you're going to ride off into the sunset with your Prince Charming, not happening. It's hard work. And the reason why marriages are failing right now, you know, in our community, it's a 52% divorce rate in the African American community. and that's too high.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a needed conference, and it's a fun conference because couples come together.
Oh, wow.
We have singles and we have couples. You know,
Okay.
the singles get just as much out of it as the couples, because a lot of times they want to know how to avoid the mistakes that's causing marriages to fail, and they also get to meet other single people who are looking for quality mates.
So tell us a little bit about your clothing line and that launch.
Well, I've had the clothing line for 5 years.
Right.
And it is doing very well. We are currently in a lot of boutiques around the country, but we are in discussions with 2 department stores.
Nice.
So
Congratulations.
2017,
Yay.
thank you,
Okay.
is looking to be a really great year for Lisa Nicole collection. And you know, when I started the clothing line, I was thinking of today's professional woman, today's woman who's classy, who's powerful, who's sophisticated. You know, she can wear the clothes to the office with the jacket, some of them, and then she can go to a nice networking set. And then we've got our Lisa Nicole signature collection, which is gowns. And so we're doing very, very well. I'm very proud. For 5 years to have 3 collections says a lot, because that is another business that is a tough
With
business.
entirety in itself, right?
Yeah, it's a very expensive business.
So what's next for Lisa Nicole brand?
The Lisa Nicole brand, you know, I've got some media projects cooking that you'll see coming very soon, and I'm, you know, going to focus on what I've got and just perfect it and grow it. Both of my kids, though, Amira released her first book.
Oh, wow.
Yep, she and I co-authored a book together called Why Every Little Girl is a Princess. And it's her perspective on a little girl's value and what a princess, how a princess really acts, and how she treats her friends, and the quality time she spends with her family, and what she does in the community. So I'm really proud of that. That released this weekend over the holidays. Thank you. And then my son will be releasing his cookbook because he loves cooking.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
Both of my kids have businesses. One is 10.
Can I take that from mommy?
Yeah, I mean, hey, we have to, especially now, realize that the only way we can truly control our financial destiny is to have our own business. So my kids have been around entrepreneurship all their life, and one day they came to me and they said, "Mommy, I want a business." And so I said, "Okay, what kind of business do you want?" And that's what came out of it.
Well, you are doing some amazing things.
Thank you.
And continued success with everything you're doing. And I know Married to Medicine is definitely going to get interesting, like you said, this year. So you guys make sure you watch.
Definitely.
This is Donna Jones for DCW 50 with Lisa Nicole.
Happy holidays.